We're not talking about minor mistakes, we're talking about cartoons so outrageously offensive, they were pulled from circulation and hidden from public view forever. These films are a shocking window into a forgotten past, a past Disney has spent millions to make you forget. From Mickey Mouse himself in blackface to beloved fairy tales twisted with hateful stereotypes, we're about to unseal the tomb and expose the 5 most controversial cartoons ever made. The year was 1932. The world was deep in the Great Depression and people desperately needed some cheer. Walt Disney, the master of animation, delivered with a silly symphony short called Santa's Workshop. On the surface, it's a Technicolor dream. Viewers get a whimsical tour of the North Pole, where happy little elves are busy making toys for Christmas. It's filled with catchy music and charming gags, exactly what you'd expect from Golden Age Disney. Many people are crazy about these classic holiday shorts, but what many overlooked is a moment so jarring it completely shatters the festive illusion. The scene in question involves Santa inspecting the newly made dolls. A beautiful blonde, blue-eyed doll slides down a chute, and Santa proudly teaches it to say mama. It's perfect, but then another doll comes down. This one is a black doll, a caricature with exaggerated features. It lands flat on its face, gets up, and in a raspy, stereotypical voice yells, "Mammy," before stamping its own backside. To put it mildly, the contrast is horrifying. Santa just chuckles as if this blatant racism is just another charming part of the holiday fun. For decades, this scene went largely unnoticed by mainstream audiences, but as cultural sensitivities evolved, it became impossible to ignore. Disney knew they had a problem. Instead of locking the whole cartoon away, they chose to censor it. The entire sequence with the black doll was surgically removed from all future broadcasts and releases. The version you can find on Disney Plus today flows so smoothly, you'd never know a piece of it was missing. It's a prime example of Disney curating its own history, sweeping the uncomfortable parts under the rug. But you have to wonder, what else is hiding in plain sight? 2 years before Santa's Workshop, back in 1930, Disney released another silly symphony that was even more problematic. It was called Cannibal Capers. The title alone tells you we're heading into dangerous territory. The short doesn't have a main character or a real plot. Instead, it's a bizarre musical number set deep in a jungle, featuring a tribe of dancing cannibals. The thing nobody tells you is that these early cartoons were often experimental, and sometimes those experiments went horribly wrong. This was one of those times. The characters are drawn as racist caricatures, with huge white lips, bone-pierced noses, and wild unkempt hair. They dance frantically around a large cooking pot, brandishing spears and hooting like animals. Their movements are jerky and primitive, designed to be both humorous and exotic to audiences of the time. The entire 6-minute cartoon is a showcase of the worst stereotypes imaginable about African natives. But what makes this one stand out is its sheer, unapologetic nature. There's no story to distract from the imagery. The offensive caricatures are the entire point of the cartoon. Near the end, a lion appears and the tribe scatters in fear, a chaotic and demeaning end to a deeply unsettling short. For a while, Cannibal Capers was just another forgotten film from a bygone era. But as Disney began packaging its shorts for television and home video, they realized this one could never see the light of day again. It was quietly removed from circulation and has been effectively banned by the company ever since. You see, this wasn't just a misstep, it was a blueprint for racial insensitivity that would pop up again. We're only 2 cartoons in, and it's already shocking. But believe it or not, it gets even worse when these stereotypes infect one of the most famous fairy tales of all time. If you're finding this look into Disney's hidden past as fascinating as I am, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It tells YouTube you want to see more deep dives like this, and it really helps the channel keep going. And next, it would infect one of the most famous fairy tales of all time. Everyone knows the story of the 3 Little Pigs. In 1933, Disney turned this simple fable into an animated sensation. The cartoon was a massive hit, so popular that theaters ran it for months after its release. It even won an Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film. Its theme song, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, became an anthem of resilience during the Great Depression. It was, by all accounts, a masterpiece. But the original version contained a disguise for the big bad wolf that was so offensive it had to be completely reanimated years later. In the infamous scene, the wolf tries to sneak into the house of the practical pig. To do so, he disguises himself as a Jewish peddler. He dons a long fake nose, a beard, and glasses, and speaks in a heavily accented, stereotypical voice. It's a shocking anti-Semitic caricature dropped into the middle of a beloved children's story. What many overlooked at the time was the terrifying context. In 1933, when the film was being released, the Nazi Party was rising to power in Germany, and anti-Semitic sentiment was growing worldwide. The cartoon's portrayal of a Jewish caricature as a deceptive predator was, to put it mildly, dangerously irresponsible. The backlash wasn't immediate, but by the 1940s, the problem was undeniable. In 1948, Disney went back and changed the animation. The peddler disguise was replaced with a less specific, fuller brushman disguise, and the offensive voice was redubbed. This edited version is the only one Disney has allowed to be seen for over 70 years, effectively burying the original. But if the wolf was this bad, just imagine what they did with Mickey Mouse himself. Mickey Mouse is more than a character, he's a global icon. His friendly face is a symbol of everything Disney stands for. That's what makes 1932's Trader Mickey so utterly shocking. In this cartoon, Mickey and his dog Pluto are adventurers traveling up a river in Africa. Right away, this feels a lot like Cannibal Capers, but this time, the stakes are higher because it's the face of the company at the center of the storm. They soon encounter a tribe of cannibals, and every offensive trope is back with a vengeance. The natives are depicted with dark skin, enormous lips, and bones in their hair, just like in Cannibal Capers. They are portrayed as primitive, violent, and easily amused. It's not long before Mickey and Pluto are captured and thrown into a giant pot to be cooked. But not all things are what they seem. Mickey, ever the quick thinker, uses musical instruments from his cargo to charm the natives. He plays a saxophone and suddenly the violent cannibals are transformed into a dancing, jazz-loving audience. The cartoon presents the native people as savage children who can be pacified with Western culture. It's a deeply colonialist and racist message wrapped in a cheerful Mickey Mouse adventure. For years, Trader Mickey was occasionally shown on TV, but often with heavy edits. Eventually, Disney pulled it completely. The company realized that having its main star participate in such a racially charged narrative was a public relations nightmare waiting to happen. It has since been locked deep in the vault. It's almost unbelievable that they put the face of their company in a cartoon like that. But our number one spot is on another level entirely. It is the single most shameful cartoon Disney has ever made, and one they wish you'd never see. Before we reveal it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another investigation into the stories you were never supposed to hear. But the worst was yet to come. In our number one spot is a cartoon so bad, it features Mickey in blackface. This is it. The single most controversial cartoon Disney has ever produced. Released in 1933, Mickey's Melodrama is the one film the company wishes it could erase from existence. The plot is simple. Mickey and his friends decide to put on a stage play of Harriet Beecher Stowe's famous anti-slavery novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin. The thing nobody tells you is that in the 1930s, this story was often performed as a minstrel show, and Disney's version leans into that horrifying tradition with gusto. To prepare for their roles, Mickey Mouse and his friends need to look the part. How do they do it? Mickey gets a firecracker and puts it in his mouth. It explodes, covering his face in black soot. Instant blackface. Clarabelle Cow is shown rubbing soot all over her face from a candle. The transformation is played for laughs. The actual play is just as bad, filled with exaggerated and demeaning portrayals of the characters. Mickey, as Uncle Tom, is shown with huge, white, cartoonish lips painted over the blackface. It's a masterclass in racist imagery. People watch this today are often left speechless. How could Mickey Mouse, the symbol of childhood innocence, be used in such a hateful way? The truth is, at the time, blackface and minstrel shows were still a common and accepted form of entertainment in America. The cartoon was a product of its deeply racist era, but that doesn't make it any less shocking to see. Naturally, Mickey's melodrama has been completely banned. It has never been released on home video, and you will certainly never find it on any official Disney platform. It remains the ultimate taboo, a stark reminder that even the Magic Kingdom has a dark and troubling past. The big question for all of us is, was Disney just a product of its time, or should a company built on shaping young minds have known better? I really want to know what you think, so drop your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the darker side of history, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell because you won't believe what we're uncovering next. Thanks for watching.